Ever catch yourself daydreaming about, a career surrounded by horses? Like
Mhm.
actually picturing yourself as a horse breeder?
Yeah.
Well, today we're really diving deep into that world
Okay.
with some insights from RoleCatcher.
Okay.
You familiar with them?
I've heard the name as a career platform, right?
Yeah, they've got tons of resources, career development stuff. We're looking at their horse breeder, the complete career guide today.
Oh, cool. Sounds comprehensive.
It is. Plus, we'll get into some of the AI tools they've come up with to, help people actually land those dream jobs.
AI. Huh. Interesting. So, what's the guide say? Like, what's the reality of being a horse breeder?
Well, one thing that stood out is they don't sugarcoat it.
Oh,
Yeah, they're upfront about, you know, the less glamorous side of the
right.
profession.
Right. Right. It's not just about, like, frolicking through fields with these beautiful animals all day.
Exactly. They get into the nitty-gritty. They paint a pretty vivid picture of what a day in the life actually looks like.
I'd imagine it's physically
Oh,
demanding.
yeah. Long hours, too.
And you need a pretty unique set of skills, I'd guess.
Absolutely. Animal care, obviously.
Of course, of course.
But then you've got the business side of things,
Right. Marketing, finances.
all of that, and even a bit of medical knowledge thrown in.
Really? Medical knowledge, like how so?
Well, the guide really stresses how important it is to be able to, recognize signs of illness or injury in the horses.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you're with these animals day in and day out. You'd need to be able to spot if something's off.
Exactly. And that made me wonder, how do you even begin to develop that kind of eye?
Right. Like, imagine you're walking through the stable, you've got all these horses.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know? What are the signs that a novice breeder, someone just starting out, what might they miss?
That's a great question. I mean, I can tell if my dog has a limp, but a horse,
Right.
so much more to consider.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The guide really stresses hands-on experience.
Okay, so actually working with the animals.
Yeah. Apprenticeships, they mentioned that too.
Makes sense. Learning from someone who's been doing it for years.
Right. And continuous learning. So even if you think you know it all, you got to keep learning.
Because there's always something new to discover.
Always.
So it's not just about having a passion for horses.
Yeah.
It's about really understanding the nuances, their behavior, their health, everything.
You've got to be totally in tune with them.
Yeah, you could say that.
And that actually brings up another key point from the guide, the business side of things.
Right, right. Because it's easy to romanticize it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Working with these magnificent creatures.
Totally.
But at the end of the day,
It's a business.
it is a
You
business.
got to make money. Right.
Exactly. And like any business, it comes with its own financial realities.
Risks too, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. But let's stick with the financial side for a second.
Okay.
RoleCatcher, they actually get into the nitty-gritty of salaries.
Oh, interesting. What'd they say?
Well, on average, it looks like a horse breeder earns somewhere between $30,000 and $60,000 a year.
Okay. That's quite a range, though.
Right.
What do they say accounts for that? Like, what influences where a breeder might fall on that spectrum?
Well, experience is a big one, obviously.
Makes sense. Someone just starting out isn't going to be making as much as someone who's, been doing it for years and years.
Exactly. You build a reputation, a track record.
Right. Maybe even have some championship bloodlines in their stable.
Ah, so lineage plays a role too.
Oh, yeah. A horse with a prestigious pedigree,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be worth a lot more.
Right.
So those breeders can charge higher prices.
Makes sense. Makes sense. But what about just the cost of, running a breeding operation in the first place?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Those horses don't pay for themselves.
Not at all. There's a lot of overhead. The guide actually talks about the financial risks involved.
Oh, really?
Yeah, feed, vet bills,
Right, right.
housing. All of that adds up so fast.
They use the phrase inherent risks, not just costs.
Because there are so many unknowns in breeding.
Exactly. You could do everything right and
And still have things happen.
yeah.
Like a mare who just doesn't conceive.
Right.
Or a foal who's born with, complications.
Oh, wow.
Veterinary emergencies.
Yeah,
It happens. And those things can really impact a breeder's bottom line.
absolutely. So we're talking about a business where a passion
Mm-hmm.
definitely needs to be met with some pretty hard-nosed financial realities.
Yeah, for sure. It's not for the faint of heart.
And on top of all that,
Mhm.
we're talking about a marketplace that
Yeah.
it's getting pretty competitive out there.
Oh, for sure.
The guide actually mentioned this. Yeah, they said that the employment of animal caretakers,
Okay.
which includes horse breeders,
Right.
they're projecting that to grow a lot in the next few years.
By a lot, you mean?
Significantly.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Like what kind of numbers are we talking?
Well, they said, let me find it here.
16.
They project a 16% growth by 2026.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of people all vying for
It is.
those jobs in the horse world.
It is. It's a lot of competition.
It is, yeah.
So that begs the question,
Right.
how do you stand out?
How do you stand out from the herd? Right.
Yeah, how do you stand out from the herd? And this is where RoleCatcher comes in with, I
Yeah.
think, some pretty innovative tools.
Like what?
Well, they've got this AI-powered CV analysis feature, which honestly, it just sounds incredibly helpful.
So like instead of me like agonizing over my resume,
Well, yeah,
trying to like,
it takes out the guesswork.
right.
Like you're on RoleCatcher, you see a job posting for, a horse breeder.
Mm-hmm.
Their system uses AI to scan the job description.
Okay.
It figures out exactly what the employer is looking for, the
Yeah.
skills, the experience,
Right.
and then it helps you tailor your CV to highlight those exact things.
Oh, that's amazing.
So you're not like,
right.
just throwing a resume out there into the void,
Right.
hoping something will stick.
You're putting your best foot forward.
It's like having a digital assistant.
That's a really good way to put it.
Who knows exactly what those employers want?
That's really cool.
What else? What else?
They have a whole database of interview questions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're tailored to specific careers,
So including horse breeding.
including horse breeding.
Okay.
And it's not just like a static list.
Oh.
Their AI analyzes your practice responses
What?
and gives you feedback.
No way.
Yeah, so you can like actually practice your answers,
That's amazing.
get better, refine them.
It's like having a personal coach
It really is.
in your pocket.
Yeah, it's wild like how far this technology has come.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Well, speaking of preparation,
Okay.
the guide also talked about certifications.
Oh, right.
Specifically,
Like to be a horse breeder.
yeah.
Okay.
The equine science certificate,
Mhm.
and then the certified equine manager
Okay.
credential.
Credential, yeah. What's the deal with those?
Well, from what I gathered, they really delve into the science behind equine care management.
Okay.
We're talking equine nutrition,
Right.
genetics,
Uh-huh.
reproduction.
Mhm.
It's like a deep dive
Yeah.
into the biological,
Right.
the physiological intricacies of horses.
So like the science behind it.
It's the science behind it.
Okay.
Okay.
And are these credentials like do they actually make a difference?
Well,
Like when you're applying for jobs?
they can,
Okay.
because it shows potential employers that you've got that expertise. You're
Let's
not
see.
just,
Right.
a horse enthusiast.
You know what you're talking about.
You've actually taken the time to learn
Well,
the
yeah.
ins and outs.
The why behind the what
Ye-
Yeah.
So it's not just about, being able to ride a horse or handle a horse. It's about understanding like the
Yeah.
science behind their well-being,
care.
their lineage.
It's like being a horse doctor almost.
Almost.
But for breeding.
Yeah. It's about being like a well-rounded horse professional.
Okay, I see.
And that actually brings us to another point that the materials highlighted,
What's up?
specialization.
Oh, interesting.
So you're not just breeding horses,
Right.
You're focusing on a particular breed,
Okay.
maybe even a specific discipline within that breed.
Okay, that makes
So,
sense.
for example, you
Sure.
could specialize in
Like dressage.
dressage, exactly, which, if you're not familiar, that's a form of equestrian sport, often described as
Like horse ballet or something.
horse ballet,
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
So you could breed horses specifically for dressage competitions.
Oh, so you're really honing in on
Exactly.
those specific skills and traits.
Exactly. Or you might specialize in breeding thoroughbreds
Okay.
racing,
Right. Makes sense.
or quarter horses for, ranch work.
Mm-hmm.
So each specialization, it comes with its own
Challenges,
rewards, I'm sure.
rewards,
Probably different price points, different
different market demands.
market demands. Exactly.
Yep.
That's a good point.
Which brings us back to that
To the business
business acumen.
acumen, yeah.
Right.
You got to have your business hat on.
You do. You got to understand your target market. Mm-hmm.
Set your prices.
Right.
Market those horses effectively to find buyers.
So it's like you're
It's like
a horse real estate agent almost.
That's a really good way to put it.
Right. Like you got to know
Yeah.
how to stage the perfect showing
Yes.
and really highlight their best features.
It's all about presentation.
And find those buyers, connect those buyers.
Yes. Who are looking for exactly what you have.
It's matchmaking.
It is matchmaking. It really is.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like to really make it in this world, you need a lot.
You need a lot. Yeah.
Knowledge, skill,
Business savvy for sure.
business savvy,
Yeah, forget that.
and just like overall dedication too, right?
Oh, yeah. The guide is very clear about that.
They are.
This is not a 9 to 5.
No.
Not even close. They were upfront about the hours.
Whoa.
Long and irregular, they said.
Very regular. Very.
Early mornings, late nights, weekends, holidays.
All of it.
It's a lifestyle,
It really is.
not just a job.
100%.
Makes you wonder, like,
What kind of person?
Yeah.
What kind of person
can handle that?
thrives in this environment?
Right, exactly.
What are
The shared qualities
the personality? Yeah. Like
of successful breeders.
the successful horse breeders. Yeah.
Well, I think based on these materials,
Okay.
resilience is huge.
Okay.
You got to be able to handle setbacks.
Because there are going to be a lot.
There are, yeah, the market goes up, it goes down.
Yeah.
You gotta roll with the punch.
Weather the storm.
Exactly. Stay positive.
Okay. Yeah. Stay positive.
Even when things are tough. Makes sense.
And I'd say
Yeah.
a good, healthy dose of patience.
Right.
You're working with animals.
Right.
They don't always follow the plan.
No, they don't. They have a mind of their own.
That's exactly.
You can't rush these things.
No, you can't.
So patience, adaptability,
Mhm.
willingness to learn and to evolve.
Always
Those are all, like, it seems like pretty essential
essential.
if you're going to be a horse breeder.
If you're serious about it, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. So we've talked about, like, the
Look at this, all these
demands,
humans now it's
the skills, the business.
all of it.
But let's be real.
Yeah.
There's a reason we love horses, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's a magic to them.
It's a special connection.
It is. It runs deep.
It does.
And I think that's, like,
That's what it's all about.
that's at the heart of what breeders do.
It is.
They're not just, like,
Right.
raising animals, you know.
Even more than that.
It's like they're shaping legacies. They're preserving bloodlines. They're
Right.
contributing to, like,
Yeah.
the future of these
The future of horses.
incredible animals.
It's pretty cool when you think about it like that.
It is cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of shaping legacies,
Yeah.
it brings us back to those certifications we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Those credentials. Do you think they're, like,
Essential.
essential?
That's a good question.
Like, do you need them to be successful?
And I guess it depends on how you define success.
Right. That's true.
For some people,
Right.
it's like the blue ribbon,
Yeah.
the championships. Yeah.
For other people,
It might be
breeding healthy horses.
healthy, happy horses.
Yeah.
Horses that bring people joy.
Yeah, people love.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is personal.
It's very personal. Yeah.
It's not one size fits all.
Not at all.
Maybe those certifications are, like,
One path, one tool
among many.
to get you where you want to go.
Yeah, to help breeders,
Yeah,
you know, reach their version of success,
exactly.
whatever that looks like for them.
Because they do represent like
Yeah.
a commitment to professional development, to really understanding
The science.
and science.
Which I'm sure, I mean,
It benefits everybody.
benefits the horses, I bet.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well,
That's horse breeding in a nutshell.
that is a great point to end on, I think. So, if you're out there
Mm-hmm.
exploring the world of horse breeding,
Yeah.
think about what success looks like to you.
What do you want?
Yes, what do you want?
What are your goals?
And then what steps you need to take to get there.
Make it happen.
Make it a reality.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to
Yeah.
really immerse yourself.
Yeah. Do your research.
Find some mentors.
Yes. Mentors are huge.
People who have been there, done that.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of the challenges.
Because there will be challenges.
There will be, but also
But rewards.
the rewards are huge.
So rewarding.
So rewarding.
So fulfilling.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, that is a wrap on our deep dive
It was a good one.
into the world of horse breeding.
So interesting.
We hope this was helpful.
I hope so.
We hope you got a lot out of it.
Yeah, me too.
And that these insights from RoleCatcher
They're great.
have given you a clearer picture
Yeah.
of what it takes to
To make it,
turn your passion into a career.
that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.